Hold on to your butts, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Dash Haber present.
And tonight we talking some Universal Studios Hollywood.
Yep.
All right. Dash, have you been to this enigma of a park?
I have, but it has been a long time ago. Uh, early to mid 2000s, I want to say.
Were you old enough to remember just how weird it is, like layout wise?
Yeah, with the whole upper and lower lot sections.
That's it. Oh yeah. I mean yeah, Universal Hollywood is it is a beast unto itself. I don't know, but you know what? I do feel like these two new additions are going a long way in terms of I've never thought of Universal Hollywood as a full day park. Like even when I've gotten the opportunity to stay there the whole day, I've never even like taken advantage of it because every day I've been there, I've just felt like, well, it's 3 o'clock and I've done everything on the upper lot, done everything on the lower lot. But you know what? I feel like these additions just unto themselves, kind of like with Jurassic World, we have, I feel like top to bottom, maybe one of the most impressive refurbishments. And I'm not talking Jurassic Park to Jurassic World, I'm talking Jurassic World to Jurassic World 2.0. I mean, holy shit, is it an improvement? And then also, I mean, I honestly don't know what made them choose Secret Life of Pets, but I am not one to complain about an immersive, family-friendly audio animatronic space dark ride, especially for that park in particular. I feel like Secret Life of Pets is pretty much the missing ingredient of Universal Studios Hollywood that it really needed, and yeah, we'll talk about it. So first up, Dash, let's talk Jurassic World. Now, I really do think Jurassic Park the ride, just from a structural point of view, like when you break it down scene by scene, I really do think it's a masterpiece of theme park design, and I really think it's up there with something like Pirates when it comes to just like, I mean, maybe not Pirates because it's definitely like Pirates is a lot more non-linear. But to me, it's kind of like, to me, Jurassic Park the ride was almost like the original Rise of the Resistance in terms of just like how holy shit huge scale it was.
Yeah, Jurassic Park the ride really benefits from a strong core structure that took advantage of that whole initial setup of you are at Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
You are on a Jurassic Park attraction, and that attraction goes wrong. It is a very simple setup and structure line, but it pulls it off so well.
I feel like it's the quintessential something goes wrong attraction in all of theme parks, I think.
Yeah, it really does boil down the formula well. You start off, with sort of the peaceful, fun engagement of, oh, here are interesting dinosaurs nearby, and here's all this lush greenery. Then you take a wrong turn, see that dinosaurs are loose, then enter your main show building where you've got raptors, you've got that spitting dinosaur, and then, of course, you've got the T Rex right as you take the iconic drop, the iconic big drop into your splash.
Yeah. So when they updated it to Jurassic World, I got to admit, I was not like, I think conceptually it worked, like it made sense to do it, but I was not thrilled with what they did. I didn't really like the fact that that essentially one half of the ride was pretty much just kind of like untouched. Like to me, that kind of felt like if you're gonna go big, just go big. I felt like the Carnivore Cove area was pretty desolate and like not much was going on there. And the IREX animatronic was kind of an embarrassment. And holy shit, did they fix pretty much all of those issues with this Jurassic World 2.0.
Oh yeah, no, the animatronics for the Indominus Rex are so much better. And even just stuff like, I don't remember if the first version of Jurassic World Divide had like the gyrosphere that's crashed.
No, it
And
did not. It did not.
yeah, and just that little touch helps to give more personality to that area.
Yeah, that area was definitely the area that really. I mean, to me, that area has always kind of felt kind of desolate, like even in the Jurassic Park the ride days. But yeah, that definitely helped spice it up. And I don't know, like I don't really think much has changed with the Molassosaurus or the Stegosaurus kingdom or whatever it's called. But I do think that I could be totally wrong about this, but I think they might have changed up the narration a little bit to be more in line with how the original ride was. Now, I could be totally wrong. I could be wrong, but I do think they've changed up the soundtrack somewhat. So basically, it's just kind of like more descriptive of how you're going along and you're seeing the herbivores and kind of like the majesty of the end. And one of the lines that actually kind of stuck out to me that makes me think it's new is you know look out for our baby Stegosaurus. That's one of our newest additions, which I think is a pretty tongue-in-cheek joke about. No, that baby Stegosaurus is like one of the oldest holdovers of the original.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, as you enter into Carnivore Cove, I mean, not a ton has changed besides the gyrosphere. And then here's where you get to spoilers until we get to right before the lift hill, and holy shit, does that one animatronic just tie it all together? I love it so much, Dash.
Yeah, just even the simple addition of having the Indominus Rex there roaring at you as you pass by, it immediately sets a tone for what's going to come next.
I don't even care about the plot hole that technically at this point in the attraction it's supposed to have already broken out of the compound. I feel like it's that effective. It's like, to me it kind of like makes the whole lift hill to drop segment almost a 3-act structure kind of thing with the 3 animatronics.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, then I think pretty much all the lift hill stuff is the same. I'm not sure if the iRex that pokes its head out of the ceiling is different or not. It looks better.
I'm not sure if it's like new at all or if they just like did some updates to that particular one, but it did seem like it ran smoother.
Uh-huh. And then we get to the granddaddy. I mean, holy mother of God, Dash. That last Ibrex, I mean, I can't even like it. First of all, it looks terrifying. It looks so scary that I would genuinely be intimidated the first time I go on this thing. I really would be nervous to get that close to that thing because the movement is what really sells it for me. I mean, the thing is huge, the thing looks realistic, but the movement really just, I mean, it almost kind of like sends a shiver down my spine just how eerily lifelike it is.
Oh yeah, like it almost upstages the T-Rex, honestly. Like,
I don't think almost, I think it kind of does.
yeah, no, like it is basically what it probably felt like seeing the T-Rex when that ride first.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
First opened.
I'm sure. Yeah, yeah. I mean, seeing something like, I mean, to me, this is like, I mean, I would need to see it up like in person to really know for sure. But I've always kind of like said on record, I do think it's kind of a boring answer, but I think the Navi Shaman is probably the most technically advanced animatronic ever. I honestly think this boy might give the Shaman a run for its money because not only is it super fluid, but it's huge.
Oh yeah, just it really feels just like this massive creature.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, and then we get kind of like the big, almost like Godzilla versus Kong style. Like, I love that there's like just a moment of face off between the T Rex and I Rex. Just a moment. Just to me, that's like so cinematic, you know?
Oh yeah, just enough to tease the idea of like a big showdown between
Uh
these
huh.
two creatures right before guests go down the drop.
Yeah, yeah. Good stuff. All right, we got Orange Crush in the comments. Either Orange Crush. Uh, every update to the ride is better. The new animatronics, the music, and the pacing timing is all improved. Yeah, absolutely. And I do very much think they went in and fine tuned that soundtrack. I'm sure they did, and as he said, the pacing as well. So yeah. All right, and yeah, just in terms of the impact on the park, I mean, I do think the actual like when Jurassic World first opened, I do think it was kind of like this weird like, well, it's gonna draw crowds because it's new, but it's not really as good as the old one. And Dash, honestly, after seeing this, I like in the past I've kind of been like, well, at least Jurassic Park the ride still exists in Florida. I'm gonna make a controversial statement here, Dash. After this, clone it, clone it. The time has come. Florida is already. We've already got the Jurassic World Velocicoaster. I mean, I like that animatronic needs to be on both coasts. That's all I'm saying. Because at this point, I feel like with the presence of that animatronic, it makes the original version just almost kind of obsolete.
Yeah, it still feels a little off the idea of like seeing that day that we shift fully from Jurassic Park to Jurassic World. But if they can keep up like the quality of these updates for Jurassic World the ride, and if they applied that to its Florida counterpart, then that would definitely help ease some of the sting.
Mm-hmm. All right, and yeah, let's get into a ride where it's like not nearly as exciting from like a theme park community point of view, but I honestly am honestly really stoked for this just because I feel like, as I said up top, I think this is if you were to tell me like exactly what this park needs, like to the T, I don't necessarily know if I would have chose Secret Life of Pets as an IP, but I would have chosen this type of experience for sure. I think this adds so much value to the park. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, honestly, Secret Life of Pets off the leash is really nice to see in general, just because of how much like Universal has kind of been joked about for the past few years of being so obsessed with screens. So it's really nice to see them put in the effort and investment to like a quality animatronic heavy dark
Mhm.
ride. Now, why Secret Life of Pets is probably going to be the riddle of the ages, but odd IPs can make for good attractions. I mean, just look at Waterworld, for example.
I feel like at this point, I'm actually kind of a fan of the phenomenon when a theme park attraction kind of like like outlives the relevance of the IP it's based on. I feel like we've kind of got a long line of those at Universal. You mentioned Waterworld. That's absolutely like the poster child of that. Waterworld is known way more as a stunt show than a movie nowadays. But I mean, also, I would say Revenge of the Mummy is probably like that has probably outlived the relevancy of the Mummy franchise. And just I can think of a lot of other examples, and even even stuff that's still relevant. I feel like Cars Land is absolutely the crown jewel of that franchise, for example. Like or Pandora, for example.
Yeah, or heck, to go like really old school. Most folks probably know Mr. Toad's Wild Ride more than they do the Wind in the Willows segment of The
Oh, I'm
Adventures
sure,
of Bob and
absolutely,
Mr. Toad.
no question about that. Yeah, I'm sure. All right. So honestly, though, the thing that impressed me the most about this thing is the queue. The queue is just ridiculous, and frankly, is way better than it has any right to be. Like, even if it was the best IP in the world, it's way better than it has any right to be for a ride at this scale.
Oh yeah, like when you look at like the queue without going into the exact details of it, the queue is just an apartment building. But they fill that apartment building with so much life and detail. From like the animatronic characters that are
Yeah.
present, all of the little pieces that they have of the apartments, showing a bit of the life in them. Even just stuff like being two doors, having like open mail slots where you can peek in to see like some of the antics of the pets in those apartments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my personal favorite thing is the conversations that are happening all over the queue.
Oh yeah, it's just so much life and activity in this space that
Yeah.
really gives something to what would otherwise be a pretty drab setting.
But you know what? I feel like the apartment building kind of like I almost get the same kind of vibe as I do with the Darling Nursery at the WDW Peter Pan queue, where it's almost kind of like it's so mundane that it kind of like reverses back around to being cool that you're in this mundane of a setting in a theme park. You know what I mean?
I think I can see what you mean, Matt. We're so used to thinking about like sort of grander settings in sort of a theme park.
Right, yeah.
That to go like just so familiar adds like a sort of unique spark to it.
And honestly, my favorite part of The Secret Life of Pets has always been the art style and the settings. I do really dig the kind of like the Art Deco sort of like postmodern New York aesthetic that they're going with in those movies. So, if anything else, this is a really great translation of that.
Oh yeah, they definitely did a good job in translating the art style of the films to a ride format.
Mm-hmm.
And just
Now, go ahead.
oh,
Sorry.
oh yeah, just a quick shout out to Orange Crush 76's comment of honestly, it would have worked as a walkthrough attraction. And yeah, frankly, the queue feels like a walkthrough attraction.
It really does. I mean, and I love how theme parks are going in this direction where I feel like in 10 years, the idea of, a queue just being like a set of switchbacks that you wait in and that's it is just going to be like a thing of the past design wise.
Oh yeah.
At least when it comes to like Disney and Universal, like parks that can actually afford to theme their queues.
Oh yeah, no, like really taking the queue and using it as a space for getting guests into the world of the attraction they're about to experience.
Indiana Jones was kind of like the Renaissance man for that, and I feel like they've kind of just taken that and ran.
Oh yeah. But
Right.
yeah, no, that queue is incredible and yeah, the ride you still get a good ride to go along with a phenomenal queue.
Yeah, and I do feel like the ride delivers. I'll tell you one thing. I think the concept of the ride is absolutely fucking adorable. Just the idea that you're like a pet that wants to be adopted. I fucking love that, Dash. I love that so much, and I feel like it goes hand in hand with Minion Mayhem because Minion Mayhem also has a very heartwarming story to it.
Oh yeah, like I had first heard about the whole like your pet, your animals looking to be adopted, and the idea had sounded a little odd when I first heard it, but actually seeing stuff in practice, like those moments when you turn to face, like that moment early on in the ride, when you face like when you pass by a TV in a storefront display and you get to see yourself, but it's, a puppy that's in the same art style as the Secret Life of Pets films.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is working actually.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you're right; it is a premise that could have gone wrong, but I like that they take the concepts that are in the film. You know, the whole idea that there's like this whole network community of pets, and that you have Snowball as kind of like the liaison for for orphaned animals, and you really just I think that they do a good job of kind of translating Snowball's sort of like spy aesthetic to the mission of the ride, if you will.
The, oh yeah, translating that and figuring out where to capture like particular familiar beats from the films or beats or moments and
Uh-huh.
combining that with sort of newer stuff.
Now, I'm not going to say that the ride is like a masterpiece of design or anything like that. I mean, frankly, it's not. Like it looks to be above average for a Universal Dark Ride, though. It looks like I would say it definitely looks better than the Cat in the Hat, at least in its current state.
But yeah, it's really more so that this is a good ride that's coming at a point in time where it feels like a breath of fresh air for Universal.
Yeah,
When
definitely.
yeah, when most folks think about like Universal attractions in recent years, probably what's going to leap to mind is Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon,
Oh
like
God.
that kind of thing.
Oh, I've got a whole like vision in my head to essentially bulldoze one entire side of Universal Florida, which would basically be everything from Kids Zone all the way up into going up to Diagon Alley and making that all Pokemon.
Well,
Because
yeah,
I
I'd settle for at least like something with kids, something new for Kids
I
Zone.
mean I honestly
Because
I honestly feel like every single attraction in that area is expendable besides ET. And what do you do with ET? Very simple. You move it to Race Through New York.
that, yeah, like it says something about Kids Zone that the biggest change that it's had in recent years was the pandemic finally killing the Barney show.
God. Oh Jesus. Yeah. But I don't know. But seriously, like if you think of every single attraction in that whole stretch, it's like you've got like the Simpsons ride, which I am not like. I think that once the theme park rights expire, I do not think we're gonna. I don't know. I feel like the future is very dubious for the Springfield stuff. Men in Black, which I like, but I feel like that attraction showing its age. Fear Factor, which is obviously just a ton of wasted space. Honestly, same thing for Animal Planet.
Yeah, it's
That whole area, I mean, fuck it, just take out Fast and the Furious while you're at it. It's like it's pretty much half the park that needs help. Honestly,
yeah, no, Universal Studios Florida is just in major need of just a serious overhaul.
yeah, and it's a shame because Islands of Adventure is such a good park. It's kind of like a reverse DCA where the original park is the shitty one.
Yeah, like yeah, because admittedly, for me, it's been a bit since I was at Universal Studios Florida. But the last time I was there, Jaws was still around. We still had Disaster, which was pretty fun, actually.
Oh yeah, I remember. I did Earthquake on the studio tour, so I kind of got a taste for what that was like.
But, but yeah, no, just so much you could change and update with that park.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is a Universal Hollywood podcast, though. Believe me, we can do a whole podcast about Universal Florida. I'm sure.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so any final thoughts on these two editions?
I'd say overall, they make for some really nice additions to Universal Studios Hollywood. The Jurassic World update really gives it some strong new life with the Indominus Rex animatronics, the new additions to Predator Cove. It all just actually makes that attraction stronger as a whole. and a really good successor now to its earlier Jurassic Park form. And yeah, Secret Life of Pets Off the Leash is a good attraction that is such a breath of fresh air from where Universal had been trending for the past few years in terms of their new attraction designs.
Yeah. All right. So thank you, Orange Crush, for joining us, and anyone else watching this in the backlogs. This is just kind of like a quick little editorial I wanted to put out there. I did, I knew we weren't gonna spend a long time on it, but I am, I am significantly impressed with it. And I'm sure that once Disneyland opens, we'll be talking about Snow White's Enchanted Wish and all that jazz. So stay tuned for that eventually. And Dash, why don't you plug more Poo Talk?
Thank you very much for having me on, Tiki. And yeah, for anybody that is watching, join us for our brand new episode of More Poo Talk.
Yeah, that's on the Armchair Imagineers channel, which is kind of the second gate of this channel and also kind of your guys' own thing. I don't quite know what we're doing with it yet, but hey, it's fun. It's an experiment. All right.
It's exciting times.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night, everyone. I'm a cow now. Moo.